What's up guys, David Chirac here. Today I am super excited for this video, for this specific album reaction that I'm going to be doing today. Today I'm going to be checking out OK Computer by Radiohead. Radiohead, obviously the legendary kind of, what would you call them, experimental rock? Art rock? Alternative rock? You know what, we'll just call them all three. So Radiohead, I've listened to a couple different Radiohead albums. I've listened to In Rainbows, which was the first Radiohead album that I listened to, and honestly, that is one of my favorite albums that I've ever heard. I recently just listened to A Moon-Shaped Pool, obviously not on this channel, just in my own time. I really loved that album as well, but I think it is slightly inferior to In Rainbows. In Rainbows is just depressing, but serene and beautiful at the same time, and I just love everything about that album. I just think that it combines enough of a mainstream sound that's kind of easy on the ears, but it combines that with some interesting experimental type stuff and just weird stuff in general, and I just love In Rainbows. So today we're going to be checking out OK Computer. Obviously this is widely considered by a lot of people as one of the best albums of all time. A lot of people consider it their favorite album of all time, so I'm going into this with kind of high expectations, and I'm going to see if that remains, or if I feel the same about this album, if I hold it in that higher regard. Once again, just keep in mind, this is just my opinion. Music is completely subjective. It's okay to disagree with me. It's okay. So we're gonna hop right into this. I know some of the lyrical themes. Looking at just some of the titles here, you can kind of tell that this is going to be somewhat about kind of society and its relationship with technology. So that's definitely an interesting concept. And I just kind of watched. Why did I say kind of? I just watched the Bo Burnham Inside comedy special. Comedy special is not really a comedy to me, but and a lot of that was commenting on kind of the same thing of how technology has it's obviously been beneficial to society, but how it's also kind of ruined parts of society as well. So that's going to be interesting to hear Tom York's perspective on this back in 1997. And obviously this is Radiohead's third studio album. They had Pablo Honey and The Bends, I'm pretty sure, before this. I haven't heard either of those, so I'll probably do those on this channel as well. But I wanted to start with OK Computer because that's probably the most critically acclaimed one. So yeah, if you can't tell, I'm excited to get into this. I loved In Rainbows like a lot. I think it's pretty much a perfect album. I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a different vibe, maybe not as easy on the ears. But who knows? We'll see. We're starting it off with Airbag. I'm not going to read the lyrics because I feel like with this music, I just want it to hit me, and whatever emotion or mood the music conveys, I just want to experience that and not read lyrics. Obviously on more listens, I'll look into the lyrics, but hopefully I'll be able to catch a couple here and there. But yeah, Airbag. Let's go. Already an interesting rhythm. Already interesting. These guitars sound so good. Bass line. Hear those haunting little vocals. That shaker's been throughout this whole song. That melody is beautiful. This is like anthemic, but in like a sad way. That bass line. Some chaotic guitars. I love how the drums are matching that bass line. I'm shaking. Wow, what a start. I don't even know what to say. Radiohead just does such a good job with these melodies and harmonies that are beautiful yet depressing and haunting at the same time, and those kind of distorted guitars that seemed kind of anthemic. It had sort of an anthemic vibe, but like in a depressing kind of way. And Tom York's vocals were great. You had some really chaotic guitars at the end there, just glitching all over the place, and you had some other weird glitching electronic sounds that I enjoyed quite a bit. That was good. That was really good. Loved that bass line. Loved how those drums kind of matched up with that bass line at one point. It was really satisfying. All right, we're going into Paranoid Android, which is a title I have heard, and yeah, I will say I didn't catch many lyrics in that first one because I feel like with Radiohead's music, you're not really supposed to catch that many lyrics unless you actually read them. It's really hard for me, at least, to actually hear what Tom York is saying because his vocals are just so, like, they're so stretched out and there's just so much noise going around it. It's kind of hard to hear. So I'm obviously missing lyrics, but Paranoid Android, let's go. I don't know if I'm ready. They always have the most interesting rhythms and just, those vocals! Oh! The sound of this is massive. The acoustic guitar. Oh! Oh, yes! Oh! Whoa! Oh! I love how you had that one guitar kind of playing that same melody that came in on the right ear, kind of teasing towards that, and then it comes in on both ears, and it just sounds so good. Oh! He's like dueling guitars, bro. Ah! Where are we going? I just got chills. These vocal layering. I love the minor chords they always go into. That's really low. Oh, that scared me. What just happened? That song went through so many changes. Holy frick. I love the dueling guitars at one point in there. I love that little acoustic, more laid back part. That song just felt so refined and carefully crafted, but the emotion in it was still there. Tom York's vocals at one point in that thing were just beautiful. Like, just beautiful, bro. Tom York isn't like the most, he's not like the most technically talented singer, or he doesn't have like the best sounding voice of all time, but his voice just perfectly fits Radiohead, and I guess that's because they are so massive. When you think of Radiohead, you think of his voice, as with pretty much any band, but yeah, there's just something about his voice that just fits it so well, and just the emotion that he pours into his singing. And once again, I don't really even know what that song was about, but I feel like I don't even really need to know right now. I can just appreciate it for how good it sounded. Yeah, that was amazing. We're 2 for 2. We're 2 for 2. All right, Subterranean, Homesick Alien, another title I've heard. Let's go. I love the just spacey reverb guitars. I love their drums. I think their drums are just so good all the time. This imagery, I'm gonna say it, this is giving me In Rainbows vibes right off the bat. Oh! I know I didn't say much in that track, but I just kind of had to let it hit me. That was probably the most In Rainbows-esque so far. It was really atmospheric and reverby. You had some keys in there, maybe. I mean, it was kind of hard to tell because everything was just so soaked in reverb, but that was definitely the most atmospheric, like I said. And I just loved the emotion of that one again. I don't know what the lyrics are about, but I don't even need to because it just sounds amazing. It just sounds amazing. And those drums, don't forget about the drums. The drums throughout that whole thing were beautiful. They're just so low in the mix that sometimes you can kind of forget about them. But if they weren't there, it would be missing a lot. And when you actually do listen to the drums, you can tell that I don't even know who their drummer is, but he's just so talented. You can tell it's just always on. It's just always perfect, and it's just interesting. And yeah, man. Just love the sound of that one. All right, next one here. Exit music for a film. We're gonna get like an acoustic ballad, maybe. Oh my, you hear the peas? Sleep. We're right up against the mic. Oh my, I just love just, chord change is beautiful. Your boy just got chills again. I feel like I'm in heaven right now, but there's still that haunting edge to it. It's so good. Yes! Yes! I love when Radiohead does this. I love when they put these weird, just out of nowhere, just reversed bits coming in. It just feels like they're raining down in the headphones over the music. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm sorry if I'm nerding out right now, but it's just, Those vocals come in, you sound like you're in heaven, but there's still something not quite right about it. It still get that sad, depressing tone. Oh! Tom York, I love you. Once again, that did what Radiohead is just so good at doing. It was beautiful and depressing at the same time. That last section there, that outro section, I just felt like the heavens were opening up and I just saw Tom York's beautiful face with his weird eye and his messed up teeth just looking down on me, just serenading me with the most depressing but yet beautiful song ever. Alright, Let Down is the next track. Okay, let's go. This is joy to my ears. What the freak? Alright, this is kind of weird. I don't even want to look at the camera. I don't know why that is the one that made me cry, because for some reason that felt like the happiest one. I can't even really talk about that because, I don't know. It felt kind of nostalgic, I guess. Kind of just brought me to like a happy place, I guess. What the frick? I was not expecting to cry in this. That was probably the best song on the album so far. I gotta try. Okay, I'm gonna try and actually like talk about the rest of this album. I don't know why that just did that. It just did. Everything about it was just so beautiful. Yeah, I got nothing else. Okay, I'm gonna try and get it together here. We're going into Karma Police, which is a song I've heard. I feel like Karma Police is gonna kind of pale in comparison to what I just heard because, yeah, I don't know. Let's just go Karma Police. It's like a ditch in radio. Have crashed a party. This is so beautiful, bro. Piano is so nice. This is what you get. So good. Alright. I thought that was gonna pale in comparison to the last song, but listening to that song again, it's just Tom York just knows how to write a good song, man. Such a just classic chorus, just beautiful melodies throughout the whole thing. I love the piano and the chord changes and everything about that song. I was not expecting it to be this good. Fitter, happier.
Fitter, happier, more productive.
This is gonna be like a skit, I guess, maybe.
At ease, creative fats, a patient.
I mean, you have this kind of androidy voice here, perfectly summing up this album, man. Talking about, I'm assuming, Tom's mental state. And it's kind of funny how it's this robot kind of voice doing it. Once again, going with that theme of society and our reliance on technology, and Tom York obviously thinking about how much more prevalent that's going to be in the future, back all the way in 1997. So yeah, this is interesting.
No killing lots or putting boiling water on the hands. Still kisses with saliva. No longer empty and frantic.
What the frick? What is happening to me? I know it was just a skit, but that that kind of hit me kind of like how Bo Burnham's Inside kind of hit me the first time I watched it. Okay. Electioneering. Let's go. Oh. All right. Definitely the most hard-hitting track in a while. Admittedly, not my favorite one. It definitely wasn't bad, but it just wasn't my favorite. I feel like also the kind of those last three songs just messed me up so bad that I'm not in the right headspace to fully enjoy this one. When I come back to this album, this might be one that I enjoy more on a second listen. But yeah, definitely hard hitting. Those guitars were beautiful, and drums were nice throughout. It's just I don't know. I don't think I was in the right mind space for that track after those previous three, man. I'm still kind of shook from those previous three. Climbing Up the Walls. I got chills again just now. I hope this sound kind of fills out eventually. There's the filling out I wanted. Like that little laughing sample. The strings! Yes! Alright, it seems like there's a transition coming up, so I'm gonna pause it. I can't even talk properly right now. I'm just out of breath and just... This might be the best thing I've ever heard. I'm not even capping right now. This might be the greatest thing I've ever listened to. I don't know. Other than maybe Blonde, I don't know of an album that's put me through this many emotions and this much of an emotional roller coaster, bro. There's been points of what seem like pure bliss, but there's always this underlying, just kind of depressing tone throughout the whole thing. And then there's these tracks like that one that are just hard to listen to. And I don't know why. I don't even know if it's necessary. I mean, it sounds sad, but I didn't even know what the lyrics are. I don't even need to hear the lyrics. I could just hear his voice, and I could just hear the tone of the track, and I could just know. And it just hit me, man. It just hit me. This feels kind of weird putting us on camera, but I'm going to do it. I want to be completely honest in these reactions. And this is what this album is making me feel right now, so. Alright, we're going into No Surprises. Another track that I've heard. Probably the most popular off this, or Karma Police. Let's go. No Surprises. I guess no, it doesn't fade in because No Surprises starts off this kind of lullaby-esque. Oh, this song is so beautiful, man. I just gotta soak this. I'm not gonna talk at all. I just gotta. Alright, that's gotta be probably one of the most catchy songs on here. Maybe Karma Police. One of those two. And Tom York's vocals on that one are just so beautiful. Once again, he's not necessarily the most gifted singer ever, but he just proves that you don't have to be. You don't have to be. If you've got the emotion in your voice and you really care what you're singing about, that's all that matters. Obviously, you can't be freaking awful, but he's obviously got enough talent and enough ability, and pair that with the emotion, and I just love the timbre of his voice and just the sound of it overall. It's just beautiful. That's like a lullaby, but a lullaby in the most interesting sense ever, and the best sense ever. Let's keep going, I guess. Going into Lucky. Some nice guitar feedback, I guess. This is so bright. Really bright. Bring everything back. Yes. Oh, it's so bright. Before we go on to the last track, I feel like I've been catching more lyrics in these last couple tracks, And that's the thing I was talking about with lyrics and the actual music, and how the lyrics just kind of hit you when they're meant to hit you. Like in these videos, I literally don't fake anything. Like sometimes the lyrics just don't hit me. Sometimes I don't relate to them. Sometimes I don't find them interesting. And sometimes they don't hit me. Sometimes they don't even pop out to me. Sometimes they're just so background and so just average that they just blend in with everything else, and that I just subconsciously don't even listen to them. But yeah, in these last couple tracks, they've just been popping out to me, and his writing, Tom York's writing, is just so brilliant, bro. That was a really that track felt really That track felt really bright to me, and if I had to give it a color, it sounds really pretentious, but if I had to give it a color, I felt yellow with that track. But with every track that feels kind of bright at some points, there's still that just underlying darkness. And I guess that's kind of maybe how his life goes. Yeah, he can feel some sort of happiness at times, but with depression, it's always just kind of there. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. I mean, I don't know. But maybe that's kind of... why am I biting this? That's kind of what I'm getting. All right, last track, The Tourist. Let's wrap this up. Oh my gosh. Just got chills again. Update the chill counter. I feel like I'm on the beach, but like on a cloudy day, you know? Is that a microwave finishing sound? Is it over? Okay. I love music. That's what this album just made me realize. It just made me realize how much I love music. I don't even know what to say. Ever since that first track that made me kind of lose it, I haven't been able to really give much analysis. Wow, that might be better. I mean, I love In Rainbows, but that might be better than In Rainbows. In Rainbows is definitely more stripped back. I mean, is stripped back the right word? I just feel like on this album there's a lot more grand kind of instrumentation and a lot more epic moments. But the whole thing was just underlined by just sadness and depression and darkness. Once again, the lyrics stuck out to me. I can't speak. The lyrics stuck out to me when they were meant to stick out to me. And I think that's how we should listen to music. I don't think we should try and force anything. And if you relate to the lyrics, or they at least interest you in some way, then yeah, that's just a plus. That might be one of my favorite albums I've ever listened to. I know this is gonna be I know I always talk about Frank Ocean. You see my freaking Blonde poster. Bro, I love Frank Ocean a lot. But right now, that might be better. That might be better than Blonde, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to sit with it a little bit. I don't even want to compare them right now. They're just both so great. I don't even want to compare it to In Rainbows either, because that's just such a great album too. Just perfect in my opinion. And I guess you could say I love Radiohead. I think they do such a good job of mixing mainstream sounds and catchy melodies and stuff that's just generally easy on the ears, with more experimental stuff that throws you for a loop, and stuff that just keeps you interested. And these songs are always changing, and lush instrumentation throughout the drums are always nice. I think as well, Radiohead does a really good job of not making the drums too overbearing. They're not always subtle, but a lot of the time they're really subtle and really low and quiet in the mix. And sometimes, like I said, you don't even realize they're there, but then once you pay attention to them, you realize how vital they are and how important they are. But yeah, I can't even give like full thoughts on this right now, because this thing just honestly just hit me. I don't even know what to say. Tom York's vocals are, while he's a completely different singer, I'm bringing up Frank Ocean again. I gotta stop. But I'm going to, okay? Because I can say what I want. This is my channel, okay? While he's a completely different kind of singer than Frank Ocean, I mean, Frank Ocean, he's definitely, I'd say he's more talented than Tom York, but Frank Ocean either isn't the most, like, he's not like a Beyonce, or like Frank Ocean isn't someone you think of when you think of like the best vocals of all time. He's not like a Michael freaking Jackson or something, but it's just the emotion that he has in his vocals, and you can really tell that he really, really cares what he's singing about. And even if you don't have the best voice of all time, same goes for Tom York. If you have that emotion and your lyrics are somewhat compelling, and you care about what you're singing about, there's nothing that really beats it. I think that's all I got. OK Computer, an absolute beast of an album. Once again, I didn't catch that many lyrics, but there was a lot of sad and depressing stuff in there, mixed with a lot of kind of existential crisis type stuff, mixed with society and his concern about our dependence on technology and what it's going to do to us in the future. So obviously that's a theme with OK Computer in the title. Yeah, it just feels really cohesive. A lot of nice ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys to this album. You had songs that seemed a little bit more uplifting. You had songs that seemed a little more hard-hitting in your face. But throughout the whole thing, I don't know how they do this, throughout the whole thing, even if it's like a completely different tone of song, throughout the whole thing, every song has this kind of underlying sadness to it. And I don't get how they do that, man. I know I'm supposed to be figuring that out and talking to you guys about it, but I can't even figure it out. That's how you know it's just so good, because like I said, the different tones and completely different songs that feel really different on the surface, but when you really listen to it, you feel that same sad tone under it and depressing tone. And maybe it's just his lyrics, maybe it's just his delivery throughout the whole thing, but I don't know. Something about it is just, it's magical, bro. It's magic. It's literally magic. As corny as that sounds. That's gonna do it for this reaction. OK Computer. That's a 10. That's a 10 for me. That's a 10. Even that skit. No skit in the history of like any other album has felt that like emotional to me, even though it was a robotic voice saying it. It's just like, I don't know how. This thing is great, bro. This thing is great. I can definitely see why people hold this album in such high regard. Like, this is gonna be, I can already tell. Even with more listens, I can already tell I'm gonna like this even more. I can tell this is gonna be one of my favorite albums of all time. As of right now, obviously I haven't listened to nearly how much music I could listen to, but yeah, as of right now, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I got nothing else to add. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like down below if you want. Subscribe if you want. Leave some album suggestions down below. I want to do some more Radiohead, maybe the Bends, maybe Pablo Honey, maybe Kid A. We'll see. But yeah, as of right now, OK Computer it's pretty good. Bye.